What up guys, it is X-Brownie here, and today we are doing Black Ops Weapons Episode 4, and today we are moving on to the next 3 weapons we've got down here. So the first one we are going to go straight into is the GALIL. Now this weapon was first seen on the original Black Ops, and as we know it's an assault rifle, and it's one of the only weapons that's actually from Israel, and the other one is actually the Desert Eagle. So the manufacturer is IMI, and it's been in service from around 1972. So as I've said, Black Ops was the first COD, and it was probably one of the better assault rifles in that game. I know GALIL Silenced was a favourite for many people, and it probably infuriated a lot of people when they used Ghost with it as well. But anyway, the rate of fire we're going to be seeing on it is around 750 rounds per minute, which we saw on Black Ops, and in real life it's what it usually uses, so expect that to be coming back on Black Ops 2. Now the normal detachable box magazine is 35 rounds, which is slightly higher than the usual 30 round of an assault rifle, and we did see the 35 round in Black Ops, so I guess that will be returning as the same sort of rate of fire. So that is pretty much it for the GALIL. Pretty much one of the favourite weapons, favourite assault rifles definitely on the game, and I'm definitely glad it's back, and it probably might see sort of a modern interpretation on it, because I doubt it's going to be being kept the same model, but we'll see when it comes out. So actually the second weapon we're going to be doing is the first sniper rifle I'm going to be talking about. It is the AS50, returning from Modern Warfare 3. And you know, a lot of snipers on Modern Warfare 3 had good use in them, and this was another weapon, although the zoom was a bit strange, but we'll go into that in a bit. So it was designed in 2007, and in this new Black Ops 2 it's going to have probably a more futuristic look. We've seen a few of the pictures that will be popping up on the top right that show it seems to be sort of a more modern design than the original Modern Warfare 3 one, so we'll look forward to that one. And it's made by Accuracy International, which is a UK based company, which is one of the only weapons which is going to be in Black Ops 2, and it uses a .5 BMG cartridge that is absolutely deadly from long range, and it's really powerful. So that's why originally on the game in Modern Warfare 3 it was quite strange for the weapon to only have 2.5 times zoom compared to the normal 4 times zoom seen on a sniper, because it really is a long range sniper. But I to be honest, I guess they will be returning to the normal scope on this one. I see no reason to keep the 2.5 times zoom scope, other than just to mix it up a bit, but I think we'll probably be seeing the normal scope return. So as we know, it's a semi-auto, and it probably have a 5 detachable box magazine, but it is known to have 10, so I think it's going to be 5 if it's going to be semi-auto, and like it is on Modern Warfare 3, but you know, things can change, stuff like that. So anyway, we'll see how that turns out, but I do enjoy my sniper, so I'm glad to see the AS50 return. And the third weapon we are going to be doing is one that you might have heard before. It's the ACR, but it's actually the STEYR ACR, which isn't alike any of the ACRs we've seen. We've seen the Remington and another version which have the same sort of distinct looks to it, but this one is slightly different. It's made by a different company, and it's actually semi-auto, and it uses a new sort of thing that's it's only really been used in the last 10 years. It's a ball pop gauge, and that's basically different. It's like how the Time 95 sort of works compared to the M16 in terms of burst fire. So it was actually designed in 1987 for use in the 90s to sort of overtake some of the old weapons that needed updates, but it actually didn't. So it didn't turn out as well as they wanted it, so it didn't go into full production, but it still got produced. So the manufacturer, as we know, is STEYR, and that's why it's got the name in front of the ACR. And as you can see from the picture, there might be some sort of similarities with the AUG, that is the only other gun made by STEYR in the Call of Duty franchise, with this sort of weird shaping to it, which you sort of recognise on the AUG. Not a normal assault rifle in the way it looks, but it's still a decent weapon in its own right on the game. So it's actually got an absolutely amazing rate of fire at 2,200 rounds per minute, and that's because it is a burst fire. So I don't know how they're going to compensate that, because if it has that burst of fire, then I guess you will have to have a bit more slower time to do the burst. You can't spam them, they might have a bit of delay on them, like you can see on the Time 95, or the damage might be a little bit weaker, so you have to take more bullets to get on the person, but either way I think they're going to compensate that a bit, because actually the G11 in the original Black Ops only had 1,250 rounds per minute, and I can remember that being sort of quite decent and quite fast, and you probably I couldn't see how it really would have done much more amazing being faster, but you know, we'll see how that turns out. And it's actually going to have a smaller round detachable box mag with 24 rounds, which is smaller than the usual 30 seen on an assault rifle. So that is another thing how they might compensate it, because it really does have really fast rate of fire. So you know, we'll see how that turns out in the end. But hopefully you enjoyed this commentary and gameplay. As you can see in the background, we have won the second round on CTF and Downturn. And as you can see, I think I went 15 kills for 11 deaths there. I'm getting a few cap flags, so that's pretty tasty. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this gameplay and commentary. It's been X Brownie, and I'll see you next time.